Hi, I'm Donald Osborne, and I'm here in Newport, Rhode Island to celebrate the one-year anniversary, the first anniversary of Linkage, the magazine for the automotive life. And I'm here with Leno, with Jim Pickering, managing editor of Linkage, and Chester Allen, our executive editor. And it's astonishing to think that a year has gone by since this magazine was first put out. Chester, what was the idea and what were you looking to do, you and Jim looking to do in creating this magazine? What was missing in the market?
I think what was missing in the market was a magazine that really captured the joy of many different kinds of motoring. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to explore experiences where you would drive down a road, someone would share what makes this road special to them, the joy of that, or a place that they wanted to go, or we'll take someone to a place that is special. And also to capture a world where it's nice to be rich and have an expensive car, but you can do this with very little money with any car. It doesn't cost any money to drive down these same roads, in any car. So there's a simple joy to motoring that I thought was sometimes captured in other magazines, but it wasn't an overall theme of the magazine.
And
but let's not underestimate being rich and having an expensive car. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Joe would know.
Let's not denigrate that.
I don't know, Jay. Sometimes you might not have as much fun
Right.
driving down the road in...
No, but I get the point of what you're saying, and it's true. I enjoy driving my Corvair Yenko Stinger as much as a Porsche or any of those cars. In some ways, even more, because it's a throwback to my youth. It was an underdog. Going fast, the old adage, going fast in a slow car is sometimes more exciting than going fast in a fast car. But in a fast car, you have to go really fast. Mm-hmm. You've got to be well over 100 miles an hour on a public road. Now you're a threat and danger. Driving a Corvair Yenko Stinger at 70 or 80 on a windy road, it's challenging and it's interesting, and it's a lot. The sensation of speed is greater. And I got a 1960 Triumph TR3, and 70, 80 miles an hour on that. Oh my God, it feels like you're going 200.
That's really fast.
But it's a lot of fun. I always would count the story of my Morgan three-wheeler as in Mulholland Drive, and I'm flying around the corner, and I come there, and there's a cop with a radar gun, and I go by him, and so I just pull over and I wait. Because and he doesn't come. So I turn around, I go back, and I see him he goes, "Hey, Jay," and I go, "Hey." He goes, "Was I okay?" You go, "Oh yeah, speed limit here 40. You're going 37." I go, 37? I thought I was going like 70. He goes, "No, you're going 37." Now I'm arguing with him. I go, "No, I'm going." He goes, "No, you're only going 37." I said, "All right," and I was having the time of my life.
Have a nice day, officer.
Yeah, exactly.
What Jay and Chester were talking about were experiences and the experiential part of ownership, which is what we celebrate in Linkage magazine. And Jim, how do you express that in the work that you do and the work that you edit in Linkage?
Well, you have a lot of experiential components, a piece of this, but the other two pieces are opinions and values. And you need to kind of have a look at all three of those. I like to think of them as a trifecta. And the way that we do that is to aim every piece of the magazine at one of those three targets. And so we have values covered by auction sales, we have opinions covered by great columnists such as Jay and Donald. And then the experiences, it's just a wonderful number of great feature stories on great roads and on great experiences, things of that nature.
I enjoy your columns because they tend to be, for the most part, American-based. Mm-hmm. I like the fact we get an awful lot of European knowledge in magazines and everybody, but rarely do people cover the Ford Falcons, the Novas, cars and that's what you do so great. I loved American Car Collector. I was sad to see it go, but I enjoyed it because I just like to know the value of those things, and I think they become historically important and they've been somewhat overlooked. So that's what I enjoy, the fact that you have a sort of American perspective. It's not Eurocentric all the time like so many magazines.
And the key to the whole puzzle here is that the passion is the same. It doesn't matter if it's a $300,000 car or a $30,000 car or a $3,000 car. The people that own these cars feel the same way about them all the way through.
And Jay, you write for a number of magazines around the world. What makes what you contribute to Linkage different?
Well, there's a New England bent to it because the museum is here, and there is a difference. You know, in California, you have a few collectors with hundreds of cars. Here you have individual collectors with hundreds of garages, and that car is in each garage. Here, a lot of times, someone will have, and in many cases, an extremely rare and valuable collector car they bought perhaps in the late 60s or mid 70s in a garage parked next to the Pacifica, the Mini, whatever it is they have, and that's their bank. You know, that's their safe deposit, that's their retirement. They've got that car and they use it and they know all about it, you know. Something I think would be fun for the magazine would be a column called The Knowledge. In the sense that, what were we talking about?
We were talking about that last night,
what it is.
and that was what we called it.
Yeah, in the book 1984, remember all the books are banned, and people walk around memorizing one book. And we just lost a good friend named Jerry Hathaway. He was the guy, he was the Citroën SM guru. He knew every part, he knew every car in America. I have one of his cars I bought back in the 90s, rather, excuse me. It's got 130,000 miles on it, and it runs like a brand new car. I've never been stranded, never broken down in the car. And he was the knowledge on that car. He could win any bar bet or tell you what was wrong. And I realized there are thousands of these men and women around the country that know X. They know the 57 Cadillac Biarritz with the stainless steel roof, how many little glasses, kind of thing. And that knowledge gets lost. But if there's a column where you deal with just one of those people, most people other than those in the club never heard of them. I mean, I have some Panhards, little two-cylinder cars. And I've tracked down the guy who is the Panhard guy, who knows every bearing size, everything. There's a guy named John Cashman. He is the Lincoln convertible guru. You know, at the top that does the whole walk like an Egyptian thing, you know. And he can fix any part. He knows every part. He travels the country year round, just fixing Lincolns, staying in, you know, in the warm places in the winter and the cool places in the summer. And that's what he does. And when we put him on our show, we got like 2 million hits because people were curious. And his phone was ringing off the hook. And it would be fun to be able to connect people with that odd car, with whether it's a Borgward transmission in the early Corvettes or whatever it might be, you know, and let people know about these folks and how to get in touch with them. But that's the fun part. Randy Ema, the Duesenberg. Randy did his thesis on Duesenbergs when he's in college 50 years ago. And he knows everything about everything. You say serial number, he'll tell you who bought it new, where it is. And this is, when he goes, where does that knowledge go, you know? So it would be nice to be able to just showcase these people, just one page, a column each month. It's somebody different, you know?
And here we are brainstorming another feature in the magazine. We're a year old and now we have something new.
Well, and in some ways we've already started doing that. So our motorsport cover, that's our most recent issue. I remember when we were getting ready to plan this issue, I was thinking of a photo that I had seen one time of Phil Hill sitting in his race car and looking so troubled before a race. You could tell that he was working out the track in his head. And I got to thinking about that, and I thought, you know, is that sort of a universal thing that you see with race car drivers? Is how do they handle that? How do you carry the weight of what's about to happen in your head before you go and do it? And so I thought, well, let's ask someone. So I called on Sam Posey and I said, can you tell me about something that changed you in racing? And so for the motorsport issue, he did just that. He wrote us a piece on his first Indy 500 experience, and it was fascinating because he basically put us in the car with him. He talks about
that story. I started to perspire.
He talks about the wind buffeting his helmet and the sound of the crowd sounding like a waterfall when he came out of the pits for the first time. I mean, it's fascinating stuff. But again, it's information that is going to be lost if you don't focus on it and bring it to life.
The stories and the experiences are really at the heart of Linkage, and these stories come from all over America, from all around the world.